Alright, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is finally here, just after a big announcement at Samsung Unpacked that made it very clear. This is a big, powerful, feature-heavy, and admittedly expensive device. But with all of that power could come some extensive capabilities, especially when you factor in things like the S Pen and DeX. But we're going to take some time getting to really know the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, so for now, I'm going to share with you some of my experiences from unboxing until now, which is about 24 hours. This is Pocket Now, and I'm Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? Let's dive right into the honeymoon phase of this, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Brought to you by Subcase. Stick around to learn how you can win a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra of your own. Alright, as with all things tech, let's start things off with the unboxing. Things seem to be quite different this year, however, and I'm not talking about the supposed omission of the charging adapter, because we definitely do get one, and it is of the super fast charging variety. That charger also comes with a C2C cable, some literature in a sleeve under the lid, and a SIM tool. That's it. Yeah, there are no headphones this time, and oddly enough, there are no extra tips for the S Pen. And there's no case included, but that's not very common for Samsung devices anyway. And if you think that this is because my unit is made for like media and press, I thought so too. But if you go over to the official page for buying this phone on Samsung's website, it shows that this is indeed how even your unboxing experience will go. I guess I can kind of understand this a little bit more now that I've had like a day to marinate on it, because you have things like the Galaxy Buds Live, of which we have a review on here on the channel already. There are also the other buds in the Samsung catalog, and they are all obviously something Samsung wants to push. And I know that personally, I have never needed to replace the tips in any S Pen I've ever used. Now, of course, that probably won't be everyone's experience, so if you have relied on the headphones included in the box or you have used the tip replacements, let us know in the comments down below. Setting up the phone is a familiar affair, adding in accounts, signing into Samsung, and transferring data from other phones if needed. I opted out of pretty much all of these things so I could start out fresh. A couple of fingerprint scans later, I'm in. But in setting up my icons to my usual configuration, I already knew I was in for that typical Note handling experience. Honestly, it's always worth considering, especially if you're not already a seasoned Galaxy Note user, that the series is known for large sizes in their phones. This one has a welcome heft that sits pretty nicely in one hand, especially when you're anchoring a pinky at the flat bottom portion. Now the sides seem to be more rounded given the curves on both sides, on the screen and on the back, and my unit is the color that Samsung really pushed during Unpacked, Mystic Bronze. Personally, I actually kinda like it, especially because the frosted backing doesn't pick up fingerprints. Regardless, Note veterans will look at the size of this phone in agreement and go, yep, that's a two-hander. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you understand it going in. It's a good thing I already had a couple of cases on hand from our sponsor, Subcase. I already threw the EXO case on for this video, which is a two-piece that snaps the phone into a protective shell, thick enough to round out the space surrounding the large camera bump. For even more protection, the award-winning UB Pro is even beefier, comes with a belt clip, and even sports a built-in kickstand to help secure the phone in your hand and provide some good viewing angles for that gorgeous screen. And what's crazy is you get that level of protection, that level of quality, and all of the features I just outlined in a case that is $20 on Amazon. So head over to Amazon, look up Note 20 Case by Subcase, and you can see all of their options. And yes, Subcase is giving away a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Just follow the link in the description below and use promo code POCKETNOW100 to enhance your chances to win with an extra 100 entries. So good luck to all of you, and remember to check out Subcase to protect your Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And so, the phablet form factor pioneered by the Galaxy Note means big screens and, true to Samsung form, a spectacular AMOLED viewing experience. First off, can we just appreciate how 7-inch screens used to automatically mean tablet, but now with a Samsung Edge display we have 6.9 inches of display on this phone? And then you have AMOLED, which means that it's got great vivid colors and high levels of contrast, all of which can be enhanced or tweaked in the settings. Speaking of which, the phone defaults to Full HD Plus resolution even if it can be Quad HD. The thing is, you sacrifice the high refresh rate if you go for the higher resolution. Now I love me some high refresh, so I'm sticking with Full HD Plus. Okay, let's go through the rest of the specs real quick. The Snapdragon 865 Plus ensures that this phone sits at the bleeding edge. And before you ask, yes, my model is indeed the Snapdragon edition. This model also rocks the 12GB of RAM and 128GB of expandable storage. Some of the other hardware tropes you might expect from a high-end smartphone are here too. You have a stereo speaker setup that is pumping out some pretty good sound so far, there's no headphone jack, and of course, there's the S Pen. But there's something different. Yeah, not only is the S Pen on the other side of the phone, so are the buttons. Obviously, your experience with this might depend on whether you're left or right-handed, but speaking personally, I kind of find the new button placement a little bit better now, even if it's still pretty dang high up on the body, just like last year's Note 10 Plus. Alright, let's stop dilly-dallying and get this S Pen out. The pen has a better response rate on the 120Hz refresh rate screen, and it is still a great alternative for taps and presses. It still acts as a remote shutter button, which is great, and Air Command menu shows the same bevy of capabilities. Two features in particular, however, are now also tied to the new Air actions, new types of gestures that can be triggered almost system-wide with a hold of the S Pen button and a magic wand-like wave. So you do things like shake for the screen right, there you go, or you can draw a V for Smart Select. Are any of these better or faster than hitting the feature in the Air Command menu? Maybe, maybe not, but they're definitely more fun. So I took the Note 20 Ultra out for some camera work in a lush arboretum. The cameras share power with the previous Galaxy S20 Ultra. The main sensor is at 108 megapixels with 12 megapixel backups in the ultrawide and the zoom. Now I expect that Samsung high saturation and quality, which I'm definitely seeing so far. Video is going to be a big deal because 4K recording is available across the board, even on the front. And speaking of the front-facing camera, if you do think your selfies are a little soft, chances are the beauty mode might be on, like it was at default on my unit. I did toggle it off for future captures. There's a Pro Video mode that is available to change up settings like the shutter speed while recording, and you can even change what video format and frame rate it will record at, separate from the normal auto video mode. Now personally, I love going to the Arboretum for camera tests because there's some wildlife, and zoom is awesome for that. It's always interesting, even in video, to go from 0.5 times wide to 1 times to, well, 5 times, all in one go. It makes it easier to get pictures of squirrels, peacocks, turtles, and even ducks, even though the ducks aren't really that afraid to just come right up to you and hang out. There is one thing I want to mention, especially if you are keeping score on the Ultra Edition so far. I'm actually relieved to see that Samsung is not going hard in the marketing paint and putting things like 100 times or space zoom on here. As interesting a feature it might have been, let's just face it, even the 50 times that the Note 20 Ultra shows as its top preset zoom option is probably not going to be used too often. Anyway, we're going to do more tests on the cameras obviously, but there are some similarities in spec and experience to the S20 Ultra so far, which is actually a good thing. So let us know your thoughts on these first day samples in the comments. Alright, well, when it was all said and done, and after that trek to the Arboretum, I did find myself with a battery life of 25%. Now, that is with about 4.5 hours of screen on time when it was all said and done, considering my extensive camera usage today. Take for that what you will, but of course this is just day one, so look forward to more in our full review. And so there you have it, my first day with the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. This phone does, well, almost everything big. And as usual, considerations around a large device like this also comes with an understanding of its beastly nature. I have no doubt that this phone is going to excel in the performance department, it'll probably excel in the camera department, and of course, as far as productivity is concerned, you have so many choices when it comes to how to get your stuff done. So let's see where all of that lands in the latest version of the Galaxy Note line, enhanced with this huge camera bump, in our full review and all of our coverage coming soon. Keep it tuned to Pocket now for even more of all of that coverage. Drop some likes on this video, and like I said before, get into the comment sections down below. Let me know what you thought of the camera samples I did share in this video, and then let me know how you feel about the Galaxy Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra in particular. In any case, we're going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for watching, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you in our next video.